What up, traders? What up, investors? Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and thank you for tuning in for another fantastic video. Today, we're going to be looking at Palantir, ticker symbol PLTR. Of course, this one, if you've been sleeping underneath a rock, this thing has been completely gangbusters here. With a lot of people on Wall Street Bets getting on the hype train, getting on the PLTR gang, all kinds of things. You can see here, we got individual Yugi Mun basically making a nice return. Again, it looks like he has a nice little one-day return here, making a $20,000 in just one given day. Looks like he has a lot invested in PLTR. Then we have this one, which is one of my favorites. Of course, this is basically saying no to Tesla, and this is Peter Thiel. And he is one of the co-founders and larger shareholders of PLTR. And of course, if you're not familiar with this picture, this original picture basically has PayPal in there. That they were part of the PayPal mafia back in the days. Another one, we have this one. This one is not as creative, but this is definitely something to be really rising it up. And of course, last but not least, we had just have people more and more hyping up PLTR, getting the sense on my behalf of just like maybe it's the pool is getting a little bit crowded and I need to make my way to the door kind of situation. If you're not familiar, I'm a shareholder in PLTR with some longer dated options as well. So let's go ahead and just jump into the chart without any further ado. There's an interesting pattern that I found on PLTR chart. So if we just kind of just do a scroll up, oh my gosh. Okay, we have the sun. This is something must be from the trading gods that we're going to be heading to $19.57 in the near term future. Huh, interesting. Okay. All that stupid joking aside, this is just a little fun Fibonacci retracement that we're looking at here, looking for, again, potentially hitting that 1957 here, looking for these really strong moves to come through. Again, we have earnings tomorrow. That is going to be after the close. So it's going to be after the close on Thursday, on November 12th. So if you're not familiar with the channel and if you haven't watched me for more than 5 minutes, you know earnings is a complete coin flip. Anything can happen, and especially such a fast mover like this one. It's a newer IPO. It's moving in large into earnings, and it's definitely a market darling right now. It just needs one little sideshow, one little mess up, and it can be a complete disaster here. And someone can drop the DJ music set into the pool and really ruin the party and really just whatever. Again, people can ruin the music, whatever. For me, is like if someone overcooked my hamburger or really just went completely charring of the ribs. Those are basically a party ruiner for me. That's never a fun time if someone doesn't know how to use the grill properly. That's definitely not fun to be in that. So with this huge hype train that we're seeing here coming into PLTR, what we're really looking at here, again, this IPO came out of like not nowhere, but it was just really stagnant. Again, it does deal with a lot of mysterious things. I'm doing some weird things with my fingers right now, in the sense of what the company does. The company deals with, again, was dealing with CIA, government, and some very question marks of operations, but now it's doing that still, but it's opening up a branch within the commercial space. So they're going to be having commercial places to be able to do so. So we can look at like Palantir Technologies. Basically, they have, again, multiple different things in the revenue streams. They have the Gotham Foundry and Apollo. This is basically to help people analyze and enterprise their data. And honestly, it sounds like every other company does this, but where they're coming from, where they're able to lock into, and the data they've had, I've seen in the field, and really extreme cases, aka in war zones and things like that. I think they might have somewhat of a I wouldn't say upper hand, but something to kind of better defer them and differentiate them from any of their competitors. Again, because this is something kind of in the newish industry, and I don't think a lot of folks quite understand on what they have on their platform here. A little bit questionable. I think a lot of people are just jumping on board and just seeing on how this is companies going, and I think a lot of people wrote it off because this kind of came out and about when snow went out. So we had snow again. That was one of those IPOs that just went completely gangbusters. That first day went all the way up to 319, and just now just kind of been trading sideways, which we kind of called it. I'm like, once it's basically just gonna has this huge pop, it has no earnings yet. It's gonna just kind of be trading sideways. We could get a run up into earnings because like as earnings scheduled for the beginning week of December, we could get a run up there, but no one wants to own a $300-400 stock. Everyone loves on Wall Street bets. They want that $10 to turn into 20, 50, even to $100, and one for a share price. Because again, everyone just wants something cheap and they can make a lot of money off. That being said, this is where my skepticism hat comes in, and I'm just a little bit wary. Again, the chart can tell you certain things, but it's not going to tell you if they're going to make or miss earnings. That's why we're talking about the coin flip going to earnings. Be super, super careful, folks. If you don't feel comfortable, take off the position. There's some strategies that we can do and work around on selling premium that you can kind of still get involved in the overall trade here. So with that further ado, let's go ahead and switch over to Tastyworks. All right, so without further ado, we're going to be looking at Tastyworks again. There's an affiliate link down in the description below if you want to be checking it out. Again, they do options, they do futures, they do stock, they do all kinds of different equities and so forth. Fantastic platform. Again, if you're interested in switching, they're running a promotion where if you switch with a 2K account, $2,000 account, they have a promotion going on for 100 shares of stock or 10 contracts. So looking here at PLTR, of course, we have earnings coming out tomorrow after the close, and the expected move is maybe $2. I'm a little skeptical on that, to be quite honest. I think there's a little bit of hype train too much on it. I think we can kind of see this could potentially pop high to the extreme side, like we talked about, to plus 18, or even to the extreme side down. But if you're in the camp and if you don't believe in that, that's totally fine. Like that, I don't believe in anything, honestly. I just kind of let the market do its thing. So what you can do is potentially sell premium. You can sell so within Tastyworks, they do a fantastic job on identifying the standard deviation channels. So we have the one deviation channel, which is this blue line here. And of course, the second one's all the way down here. Of course, to the upside, we don't have those options available yet on going forth. You can see a lot of accumulation on the 1920. Again, everyone loves those 25, 30 cents options on Wall Street bets because so they can come in Friday morning and say, look at me, boys. I bought 100 25-cent options and now they're worth $1 and I made 4 times my investment going forth there, which is, again, that's totally fine if that's your the way you like to drink your coffee. That being said, when you're buying these options, or for example, we can break it down here. So if you're buying this 19 call strike for this Friday's expiration, you're really playing on betting a probability of profit and a delta of in around between 14 and 24%. So you're basically thinking that this option is going to be expiring 75%. The market makers are saying, giving it a chance of nearly 75% to 80%, saying that this option is nowhere going to get near to being in the money, which being in the money means is going to be hitting this little orange line here. So they're saying there is no way, Jose. By no way, Jose, they mean 80%-ish that this is going to be getting in the money or making any kind of profit. They have a probability of profit. Again, we could get an earnings run, aka come Monday morning, come tomorrow morning, and you have that run up from Thursday into the close. You could maybe get a little bit of run up, but again, with IV extremely high already, I don't see that construing and going higher in the meantime between that. But anything can happen. So if you wanted to play the volatility, again, you could just straight out and just sell these two options here. So you're going to be selling the call and selling the puts here. So we can go to the curve here, and this basically what kind of tells you what you're really going to be playing here. You're really going to be looking for the stock to stay in between those that narrative. For that bet, of course, this is not my margin account, so it's going to be a little bit more. So it'd be around probably like $600 to see on potentially buying power that's effective. Your max losses, of course, is infinite because, again, it can go completely through 19. It can go to 1,000 if it wanted to, but your max profit's only $54. I don't think a lot of people want to be playing that game. Very short time frame, not really a game I really want to be getting involved in as well. So how can I construe that and maybe put some protection on it? I can buy some of this here, but then you can kind of see, okay, your max loss is only $83 now, but your max profit is $17. That means come Friday, this whole option does not break 13, it does not break 19. It just continues to stay in this range that we're currently seeing. So that's another bet you can do. Another bet you can do is just buy straight calls, or you can buy straight puts. Buying straight puts, you're wanting the stock to go down. If you want to buy straight calls, of course, that is wanting the stock to go up. Potentially, both usually not my favorite cup of tea due to the fact of it really just takes a really strong direction either way. Somewhat of a safer way potentially to play this with not the largest gains is potentially selling the 14 or 14 and a half put here and then buying one or two lower. I know this is not going to be the most sexy returns here, but you're really kind of playing you're playing a narrative, and you're trying to help play yourself on making some money here. Because again, if you would sell the 15 and buy the 14, you're giving yourself a 73% chance of actually making money here, and being a probability of profit. Taking a sip of water real fast. And you have time decay and theta decay on your side. That's always fun to have, especially when playing options. So with this playing set, this is going to be a little bit more of a safer bet. You can do this as wide as you want. You can go all the way up to $5. You can completely go all the way down the list. Of course, you see that the max loss does increase once you make a wider spread here. You can even sell stuff inside the money if you wanted to as well. You can kind of see on how that really expands the profit out. Again, still with a high probability of profit and overall theta kicking in. Again, you're not giving yourself the world's greatest amount of time. So we can even go out to the following week, which is going to be monthly expiration. And what I want to compare to here is, again, this, yes, it is options are their week of earnings. So normally these weekly options will not have this much of open interest, but we have a lot of those YouTubers boasting this up. Of course, all the people at Wall Street Bets are getting behind it and just kind of really just throwing cash at it. And I think really being reasonable on what their expectations are. So if you wanted to play this more to, again, give yourself a little bit more time, you can roll it. You can sell like the 16, again, buy the 11s. Again, that's basically giving yourself a 67% of profit here, probably a profit, with a nice theta. Max profit to max loss, again, is like it's not the greatest returns if you're wrong, but you can always manipulate it and change this into other various options. Another options play that I can see a lot of people playing out that are very cheap, but being very directional, you're going to just be creating these butterflies. So butterfly is basically capturing some particular market here. So especially going out to November 20th, you're seeing a lot of options activity here just by looking here at the volume. So if you had a very bullish statement on the stock and you're like, it's going to be going to where the sun was, aka on the charts, right here. Right here, you're saying, hey, it's going to hit that fib number. Ken, I know without a fact of a doubt that this is going to $20. Give me my money right now. I'm writing checks already, which is idiotic, but that's fine. That's what makes trading fun for me. You could sell the 20 and then buy, like, say, the 15. And then actually, let me do the 16 and then the 24. This is creating a butterfly. So basically, without going too cray-cray here, we can look at this analysis here. And you're really seeing this kind of play out. It's called a butterfly because you're kind of capturing a very fine net of where you want to be trading that stock. If that stock closes the next Friday at basically $20, you're going to be $337 richer. Of course, you're only paying $63 for this play, but the probability of profit's not very high. There is delta involved, and the theta, there is a little bit of theta because, again, you are selling two of those calls there. But the thing is you're still playing it very directional because you want the stock to go higher into that $20 price target. Even if it throws past it, you're still making money on the call. So I know people who play these trades, so they'll play one like this, and they'll go back to the table and they'll kind of do the same kind of the premise to the downside, but maybe not to the extremes that we're seeing here. And just kind of do. Let me delete these. And the same to the downside of just maybe, let's just do too wide for this example, and sell this butterfly here. Again, you're risking $37 to potentially make 163. But again, hitting that 163 is very much like hitting a bullseye on a moving car that's on a rocket shooting into space and you have a BB gun sometimes. It's not maybe not that extreme. Maybe okay, I'll give you 22, not a BB gun, but it's still very hard to kind of get this really right on the money. And you have to be very patient. And a lot of people in option tradings are not very patient. So having patience, have a strong stomach, and butterflies could be a nice play, but not really my cup of tea as well. So this is just some food for thought, folks out there. If you want to play the options and things like that, you can always just buy straight up long-term leaps, go all the way down here to January 2023, and just buy the $5 call there and really just play. It's got to have a 95 delta, and that call is basically you're trading the stock. Again, guys, I hope you have a fantastic evening. I hope to see you on the next video, and thank you so much for dropping by. Again, this is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace!